So are you ready to PR yourself? We'll remove the mystery from all things PR, and we'll discuss everything from our top strategies to tips and tricks and everything that you can utilize to further enhance your brand or your message. I've been in media, I'm a journalist, and I'm also a publicist. I am Leah Frazier, CEO of Think3 Media, and your host for PR Yourself with Leah Frazier. Let's go. Thank you guys so much just for being such amazing and faithful listeners to PR Yourself with Leah Frazier and rocking it with us from season 1 to now season 3. We have listeners from all over the world just trying to figure out ways to gain better publicity for their brands and for their businesses. And you guys just make me so proud. Keep tagging us on social media. We are sharing it out when you're doing your Instagram reels, when you're getting your media mentions and your press mentions, when you're on TV. Keep tagging me in those. Tag our co-host that always comes on, Kiana McDaniel, in those Instagram reels, and let us celebrate you. But before we get into the episode, I do want to tell you guys that you're going to want to get this free gift. This is my free gift to you for 2021. This is something that I normally charge for. So I want you to head to pryourselfwithleahfrazier.com/course. And on that page, you're going to find that you have a freebie, and it is my how to gain press and media mentions during a crisis. We're still in the middle of a global pandemic, and our TV stations, our radio stations, our press and media are still operating in the same mindset that they were last year. So it's still very relevant info, but I want to give that to you for free. You know how I am. I'm all about education. So bring that pen, bring that paper, and I want you guys to jot down all of the little nuggets and put it to use. I want you guys putting yourselves out there and getting the publicity you need for your businesses and brands for 2021. Okay. And pay attention. You're going to want to listen to these episodes. You're going to want to sign up for the email list at pryourselfwithleahfrazier.com because I am launching a 14-day Pitch It Afraid challenge where you will get a video and advice from me. And welcome back to another episode of PR Yourself with Leah Frazier. I know you guys are going to be so disappointed because it's just me today, but I'm talking about one of my favorite things and my favorite ways to PR myself these days. And dun, 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 you may have guessed it. We're going to be talking all things Clubhouse. Now, I know I just had an ad that ran right before this, and that's fine. I am happy. I am joyous. I am just exhibiting all things gratefulness and gratitude. And so I have some other freebies I want to give out to you guys. So here's what you're going to do. Go out to my personal Instagram, or you can go out to at PR Yourself Podcast, or you can go to my personal Instagram at the Leah Frazier. You're going to hit the link in my bio. There is a free gift there. I am testing out some new tools, particularly this software called One Pager. And so I've created a free media coverage. Like, here's literally a peek inside my brain and how I create magnetic media angles for my clients. I've put all of that on a one pager for you guys, along with an instructional video. I'm testing out this tool, so I'm giving it away for free. I'm already getting some great feedback. So you're going to want to go and grab that today before I take it down. Okay. So that's in my personal Instagram bio, the Leah Frazier, or you can go to PR Yourself Podcast, click follow first, and then go to the link in the PR Yourself Podcast bio and go ahead and grab that one pager too. If you have not heard the precursor to this episode, where I literally for an hour rant about how to set up your Clubhouse profile for success, you're going to want to go back into those link in bios and watch my YouTube video. Now, I have stripped that audio and I have made a PR Yourself with Leah Frazier episode on how to build your Clubhouse bio. It's the exact same thing. Some people are visual. It's taken from a Facebook Live, so you can listen to either or. I would suggest that you do that first before you listen to that episode. But hey, some of you guys are hard-headed and you like to do things backwards, so to each his own, his or her own. So, all right, just those two things, just a precursor. Let's get into it. Clubhouse is rocking the nation. We've had some other guests on the show before this episode that are raving about Clubhouse. Now listen, I am the biggest Gary Vee fan you will ever meet. But there have been times that I have predicted things, or maybe not even predicted things because Gary's a genius, or I have publicly said things where I'm like, if this doesn't work out too well, people are going to make me put my foot in my mouth. And so I have just been raving about Clubhouse, but I noticed, I was like, why hasn't Gary said anything? Why isn't he on there? Why isn't he hosting rooms? Like, what's going on? And just earlier this week, I went into a room hosted by Gary V, and he mimicked everything that I've been saying. And he is like, this is next level. If you are not on Clubhouse, what the hell are you doing? So again, I am patting myself on the back because the content social media marketer man himself has co-signed on Clubhouse saying this is next level. This is everything in marketing. And I'm going to go a step further in saying in PRing your brand. It is genius. It's all things audio. So you've got to get in there now, co-signed by the Gary V. Okay, so here's the thing. I am assuming that you are in Clubhouse at this point. If you're not, you're either an Android user or you have not been given an invitation. Again, you have to have an invitation to get onto Clubhouse. You need to be an iPhone user at this point in time because Clubhouse has been such a huge success. They are literally issuing updates. And the last set of updates that I received is that they are like, it is a race to the finish. They just received the founders just received more money and funding in order to finish the development of this app. Because remember, it's in the beta phases, which means it wasn't really, complete. This is just a test. And the test is so successful with millions of users on there, just killing the game right now, that they are rushing with this next round of funding that they received to release this to Android users. But if you are on the app, I keep saying you want to be an early adopter. You want to get in there. You want to network in these rooms. It is global networking. Like I've been in these rooms and I've connected with people in Australia. Like this morning I was in a networking room, connected with someone from Australia. I have UK connections. And then of course in the US here, New York, a lot out of Houston, all over Miami, you name it. We're all in there. We're all networking. Now, if you're like, what is Clubhouse? I'll give you a basic description, but again, you may want to listen to the prior episode just so you can get all of the backstory. Clubhouse is a social media app where you can curate your interests, right? So I can say, I love marketing. I love PR. I love women's empowerment. I love wellness. I love beauty. I love fashion. And then what it does is curate these quote unquote rooms that they will push down your feed that you can go in and out of, rooms that are hosted by other users that you can go in and out of to like listen to panel discussions, or sometimes people are just running rooms on themselves. It's a conversation. You can go and speak on their quote unquote stage. Or you can just be in the audience listening to what the other speakers have to say. So I've just gained so much valuable information from some of the rooms where it's like, you can't be the expert on everything. So if you need help with marketing or sales funnels and there's a room going on with that, go in and listen to what they have to say. There's been people that have taken copious notes in these rooms. I'm talking 5-6 pages worth of notes where these speakers normally charge thousands upon thousands just to sit down with them for 15 minutes. And they're giving you that information for free. So take advantage. There's the crap rooms. You're going to get that every now and again. There's the millionaire rooms. So I think one of the most fascinating things is that one of my favorites, Grant Cardone, is very active on the app. He's a billionaire. And he has PR'd himself to the max in Clubhouse right now. And he's very active in all of the rooms. He's super humble, but he was very honest. I am here to promote my new show, Undercover Billionaire, on the Discovery Network. That is goal number 1. I need all you millions of users to go out there, watch the show, rate the show, because that helps with ratings. That helps me look good. So he was very honest. And guess what? He was successful. Why? Because he got into Clubhouse, he PR'd himself, he got active, he leaned into the process, and he's just killing it. And so there will be more on that and the whole Grant Cardone story later. But so I have 3 tips for you guys today. I'm not going to keep you long. Again, I keep referencing you may want to watch the longer video. It's about an hour long, but I promise you it'll help you navigate Clubhouse with intentionality, because I'm all about that. I'm not about you wasting your time for hours upon hours a day in this app and not getting the most out of it, okay? Especially as a small business owner or an entrepreneur. So let's just assume for all purposes, you have your profile set up. You have your bio rocking like I told you to do. You're following your interest groups, but there's 2 sets of interest groups. You want to follow the things that, yes, you intuitively are interested in. Again, I'm interested in marketing, love marketing. I love business. I love entrepreneurship, all of those things. I'm following a set of those rooms. But then I'm following rooms where I know my target customer is going to be. So for instance, I'm following individuals who are in the creative space, who are in the fashion space, who may be in fields where it's like, I don't really know the technicalities of like what they do, but I can tell you how to market that. I can tell you what a public relations strategy is. So for example, I went in a fashion room. There was 200 individuals in that room. They start talking about very high level, basic level, what you need to do on social media, blah, blah, blah. But they didn't say a lick about PR and marketing. So guess what I did? I raised my hand, went to the stage and said, hey guys, not to get nerdy on you, but by the way, did you know this and 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 this, and spoke for like 5 minutes. And before you know it, I had a flood of people DMing me, following me on Instagram, asking me for resources, trying to set up calls. Like, it was insane. Why? Because I didn't just set my interest level to what I was interested in, right? Yeah, I have a ton of rooms for that. Not my stay. You know what I mean? But I have another set of rooms where I'm like, my target customer is probably in there. Like, there's a women's networking group that happens every morning. I'm in that thing like Donkey Kong all the time. It's on like Donkey Kong. I'm in there because out of 50 people that are in there every morning, I've only been in there one time where there was a girl in there that claims, I know how to get you in the press and media, blah, 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 blah. Like, same deal. One time after a couple of weeks. That's my target audience. So that strategy, that's a free tip because that wasn't even part of the 3 that I was going to give y'all today. Okay, moving right along. After you set up your interest levels, now it's time for you to engage. And like any great entrepreneur or leader will tell you, sometimes you get the most out of any situation if you learn how to be a great listener. Where I'm seeing a lot of people go wrong in Clubhouse is they want to be the star all the damn time. Sometimes you need to go in these rooms and just listen. For instance, I run automated webinars. Actually, that's a lie. I run live webinars. My desire is to run automated webinars because I am one person. I don't let anybody else on my team do it because I love to teach. So I'm like, this is my thing. This is my gift to the world. However, as Think3 Media grows, as I keep podcasting, as we keep adding these layers, it does need to be automated because it saves me on my sanity and it saves me on my time. There's other business leaders that I follow where I love their structure of automated webinars. And I will just shout out, like Amy Porterfield is really great at it. I love sitting in on her automated webinars, and there's many others. And so there was a room it was called $50 million, Millionaires Talk About Automated Webinars. I'm in this room. My followers get pinged on their phone that Leah is in such and such room. So then I start getting text messages like, hey girl, I don't know what's going on, but you always find the best rooms. I'm in this room now too. Here's the thing. These millionaires who make 10 million, 40 million a year just off of automated processes were in this room telling all their secrets. And I'm texting my friends who follow me in this room like, we would have never gotten this information for free. These are the things that they know that they won't tell us, or they don't tell us. They keep these things to ourselves. And the moment I text that out to my friends who followed me in the room, and we ended up being in that room for about 2 to 3 hours. But when I tell you I had pages of copious notes, it's crazy. But anyways, so I'm texting my friends and I'm like, this is the stuff they won't tell us. And sure enough, one of the speakers on the stage says, okay, this is the stuff that we kind of keep to ourselves. And after we get like 10 million or 40 million, we then go and take each other out for steak. We high five each other, or we go buy up the bar, or we go to the club and we and we buy drinks or whatever and celebrate that we just made $10 million off some automated processes. But we don't talk about this. But you know what? I wouldn't have known that if I had prioritized speaking on somebody else's stage in another room. The reason I know what I know now is because I prioritize listening and learning. So that, again, was not a tip. I just keep going on these rants, but I think that's why you guys like me, is because I just kind of go off. So let me go back into my notes. Okay, so that kind of ties into number one. Number one, you want to engage in other rooms. Oops. not the room you're hosting. You want to engage in other rooms. Okay. Engaging sometimes is just like I did. Hey, I've been wanting to know how to do this forever. I'm going to listen. And I walked away with thousands and thousands of dollars of value to use towards my business. It was amazing. And then what you're going to do, if you're sitting there and you're like, this rocked my socks, follow the people on the stage, because at that point, now you're curating your feed and you're telling the algorithm, I like to listen to this shit. I don't want to listen to that other stuff that's out there. Keep sending me the millionaire secrets that nobody's really sharing, outside of Clubhouse. Keep sending me that stuff. So you're going to want to follow people like this. It's not the same as on other social media platforms where you don't want your follower count to exceed how many people are following you. F that, man. Follow you need to network this thing. Okay. You need things. You don't know how to do everything. So follow who you want to follow that's delivering to you the type of things that you want to hear that's going to make your business go from A to Z. If you're even on Clubhouse on a business level, it could be a personal level, but you're only going to do that if you engage in other rooms. Once you're in those rooms, if something comes up and you're like, I can add to this conversation, or I know this and they're not even talking about this and it's relevant to that subject, raise your hand. When you raise your hand, they're able to bring you up on stage and you're able to speak from a place of authority or as an expert. And that's what you want to do. Because when you do that, what are people doing? As soon as they on Clubhouse, when you speak, there's a ring that goes around your profile to let people know that you're the speaker. So when you're speaking, this little gray ring comes around your face or whatever your profile picture is. And you know what the other people in the room are doing while you're speaking? They're tapping that profile. They're reading your bio. Is this somebody I want to follow? They're scrolling all the way to the end to say, oh, what she had to say was really good. And so at the end, you can link your Twitter or you can link your Instagram. And then what are they doing? They're clicking that and they're deciding whether they want to follow you. There's been many instances, you guys, where I am not the host of the room, where I have gone in just to listen, just like I talked about that fashion room. I was there just to listen. It was background noise for me. I was working hard on something else. And somebody said something, but they didn't really give them like the knowledge of why starting a YouTube channel was important. They didn't tell them about SEO. They didn't talk to them about PR. So I raised my hand. I went to the stage, and as soon as I exited that room, once the room closed, I went to Instagram and I literally had between 30 to 40 new followers. And I'm sure they all came from that room. So engage in other rooms. Be a speaker when you need to be a speaker. That's PRing yourself and your business amongst a room of people from all over the world. And then give them value. All right. So that's one thing. And another thing that I heard this morning is to keep going back into rooms that you can frequent. That way the other speakers and everybody else really get to know you on another level. And you really start to network these things and bridge relationships between people amongst the rooms. So don't be shy and don't be one of these people that always has to be on the stage. I heard a couple of weeks ago that there was folks that were like, well, if I'm not a moderator or a speaker, I'm not going in the room. How stupid is that? You don't know everything. So you have to be the star all the time. I'm telling you, I learned a $10 million, $50 million secret because I sat my ass in the audience and listened and took 3 pages worth of notes. And then all my friends who follow me got a notification on their phone. So we all sneaking in, like we sneaking into the club with no ID, sitting in the back, trying not to get caught, ear hustling on secrets that these multi-millionaire, billionaire people would never tell us in life. Because we're listening. Okay, I get off my high horse. That's number 1. Do engage in other rooms. Number 2, if you're worried about, I've had a lot of people over the last couple of weeks, Leah, I want to host a room. I don't know how. I don't know how to be a moderator. I'm just nervous. That's fine. Or I don't have that much of a following. I'm nervous. I'm going to open a room and no one's going to show up. Well, can I just tell you, congrats. You opened a damn room. That's a lot further than a lot of people would ever get. That's number 1. Number 2, it's like flexing a muscle consistently. Once you do it and get over the hump, you're going to do it again and again and again and again and again. And that's amazing. So congrats to you. But if you are very nervous, I would reach out to a friend, somebody else that's on Clubhouse that maybe you can co-host a room together, because what that does is that brings in their followers, that brings in your followers, and now you have more of a chance that more than yourself will show up. And then you guys can cross promote each other's audiences to each other because you're co-moderating or co-hosting this room together. So that's the way to do it. To be quite honest with you guys, I co-host more rooms than I do hosting rooms by myself. And even if I come up with a subject and I'm like, I'm going to do this every Thursday, I always bring in other people to come to my stage to help facilitate whatever that topic is that I'm writing about. Okay. So do co-host with other people so that you can put yourself out there and do it around things that you know. Do it around things that you love. People just like to talk. Okay. When you're co-hosting this room, be very cognizant of what you title the room, because that's what people say as they're going down their virtual hall. That's what they're seeing when they go down their virtual hallway and deciding, do I want to go in and out of that room? So make sure it's catchy and interesting, because if you wouldn't go in it, we don't want to go in it too. And a cool thing that I like to see people do is they put cute little emojis on there too. And so when the emojis are there, it just, again, it makes it look fun and vibrant. And it's like, ooh, let's try this room. All right. So try that out. Do co-host with other people, ask a friend. And then sometimes I'll just go in a room where one of my friends are speaking and they bring me up to the stage and I'm there of service. Like, hey girl, excuse me, hold on one second. That is not COVID. I just had a little water in my throat. It'll be like, hey girl, I'm just here to support you. But I have several friends that will just bring me up to the stage and I am there to help her. I'm just there to moderate the conversation. I'm there to let her speak. I weigh in as necessary, but then I'm there to move people up and down the stage, help navigate through Q&A and all of that. Guess what happens when I do that? Because I'm on the stage level and the speaker level and as a moderator in the room and I'm just helping. Again, I'm not the star. I'm just helping. Every time I do that, I leave the room with followers, not only just on Clubhouse, but followers that then convert to Instagram. So I have a friend, I go in her rooms genuinely because I love the content that she delivers. And every time I leave one of her rooms and she allows me to help her with moderating, I end up getting anywhere between 50 to 100 followers on Clubhouse. And then I'll go over to my Instagram and I've gained at least between 30 to 40. And her audience is my audience. She does more of the global business consulting. I am strictly PR. We work hand in hand. It's perfect. So consider co-hosting with other people or just being of service, and you'll be surprised at how your platform grows. Here's another tip with that. I see a lot of people setting up rooms like, oh, no one came. Well, no one's constricting you either. You can set up this event like this is about to be all the way live. We've set up events in Clubhouse and we've created LinkedIn events so that LinkedIn people can come and join. You can create Facebook events. You can circulate the event on Instagram, put it in your Instagram stories, your Twitter stories, your LinkedIn stories, tell your Facebook family, hey, I'm going to be hosting a room on such and such date. Create a whole event and experience out of it and make people want to come to your room. Just because you set up an event in Clubhouse doesn't mean you can't share it through to your email list and tell people to tune in. Okay. So you have to do your part just as much as you want other people to. You just can't rely on Clubhouse to tell people when to go to your event. You've got to market the thing too, and it'll pay off. Okay. So circulate it on social media. You can use LinkedIn events and set up event, or Facebook, or use your email marketing list and tell people to come join with you on your intimate conversation. Okay. And the last thing you want to do, this is Clubhouse, y'all. People are coming, they're looking at your bio, they're going to your website, they're going to your Instagram, they're going to the link in your bio, they're heading over to, they're emailing you, they're coming off platform to do business with you or to network with you, and you have to be prepared. So whether that is, hey, in the link in my bio, hey, I have a free gift for you. I need your email address first. You ain't just going to mooch and get this information off of me for free. You need to be prepared that when these people are looking at you or when they're coming over to your platforms, you need to be prepared to grab customer information. Don't just sit up there and host these rooms and host these rooms and host these rooms and that, well, I'm not getting anything out of it but followers. That's great because that's their first touch with you, but you need something even more tangible where they're going to want to do business with you. And so when you're in these rooms, if you're hosting the room, you're closing out the room, or maybe you're resetting the room after, you've been going for some hours, let them know like, hey, engage with me in the link in my bio, my Instagram bio, shoot me a DM. I have a free gift to give to you guys, or I have, this worksheet to get over to you guys, or I want to add you to my email list because I drop exclusive stuff there that only my email subscribers get. Whatever you have to do, be intentional with how you're navigating on Clubhouse. I have someone within my network that I think she made $15,000 and then upsold into some high ticket items and ended up making $160,000. Grant Cardone admitted to raising $15 million on Clubhouse and promoting his new show and made it go #1 to Discovery Network. And there was also a woman who was in a group that I was told was a group where people were just helping each other and their businesses rise. And she came to the stage and was honest and said, I made 1 sale last year, you guys. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And every person in that room, I was told, went and bought something off her site, and she made millions. That's the type of capability that this app has that I want you guys to tap into. Okay, so I'm gonna go back through my 3 points because, I'm a speaker. That's what we do. And I'm in education. #1, you're going to engage in other rooms. You're going to listen in some, you're going to be a speaker in some, you're going to give value. Sometimes you're going to, help other people out, but you're going to engage, go back to some of the same rooms, expand your global network. #2, if you're afraid of hosting your own room, you're going to co-host with like-minded people. You're going to co-host with other folks. You're going to go and be a service. Hey, Leah, I saw you were going to do this room. Do you mind if I help you moderate? Now, I've had some people ask me and it's like, no, I'm not going to help you moderate, because if people ask questions, I want you to be able to answer them back. And for what my topic is, I just don't know that you're a good fit. But if we were in this realm, hell yeah, girl. All right. So do co-host with other people. Titles are very important when you're naming your title to get people to come into your room, and use emojis. That was like a sub tip. Number 3, you're going to want to be prepared for business. So whether that's email sign up, have your link in bio stuff ready. And the best link in bio, I forgot to tell you guys, is a company called SociaTap. It's in the caption for this podcast episode. SOCIA, T as in Tom, A, P as in Peter.com. Woman-owned business. She's right here in Texas. We had a call the other day and she's rocking it. It has made my link in bio and that whole profile look stellar. Like I look like I really did something, and I didn't. I just used her app. So again, you're going to want to drive traffic off Clubhouse for them to intentionally do business with you, but you need to be ready. Do you have a lead page? Do you have a landing page? Do you have a squeeze funnel? Are you getting their email address? Are you giving them a free gift? Are you telling them to watch your YouTube video? Are you telling them to listen to your podcast? How are you engaging with these people off platform so that eventually they become your customer? I want you to be intentional about that. So those are my 3 tips. That is Clubhouse so far. And that's all I have for you today. Okay. So again, if you didn't watch Clubhouse 101, you need to go to the link in my bio. I do have the YouTube video linked there, but follow me. I'll follow you back. Just be sure to hit me up just in case I don't know you. I've met some people that are like, oh, I've listened to your podcast because of who you've had on the show and I don't know you. That's cool. Just tell me and then I can further connect with you because I want to support you guys too. Okay. So go ahead, follow me on Clubhouse, get active. Let me know if this has helped you so much. Share this out. Subscribe to my podcast. We have some heavy hitters coming. I have a super duper surprise. I'm just waiting on a confirmation. It's a really big deal. So pray for me. But if you have any other questions, you know what to do. You can email me, Leah at think3media.com. Subscribe, rate our show. Send me a message about what you're having issues with, what you want to hear on the show, any potential guests you want to hear on the show, or do you think you should be a guest? Hit me up. Let's talk. And that's all I have for you today. So until next time.